Would you take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen? The stock market is selling off right on cue after I predicted this on Friday and bought some SQQQ, which essentially is a 3x bear leveraged ETF on the NASDAQ 100, which I actually sold earlier today to make a quick profit. So we're going to break down that trade in this video. We're going to talk about SoFi, whose stock is ripping right now after they reported earnings this morning, and we're going to break down the markets. We're going to talk about stocks, the markets, what I'm doing. So sit back, relax. Of course, take a sip of your coffee, and of course, on top of that, stay hydrated, get some water in your systems, guys, and let's dive into the video. So right now, it's about 1:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and lo and behold, all the indexes are in the red. We have the NASDAQ 100 down 1.6%, Russell's down 0.7%, the S&P's down almost 0.9%, as the Dow is down 0.3%, and we have the VIX up almost 8%. Even though it's not breaking up over 20 points yet, it is still up over 8% on the day thus far. And if you guys caught my video on Friday, and I talked about it, pretty extensively in that video, I covered how I picked up some SQQQ right after the market closed for a short-term trade. Let me pull this up and show you guys. I bought this at $38.85. No joke, right after the bell. I mean, if you guys look here on Friday, we had a nice rip into close on SQQQ. We closed right around $38.85. Then I picked it up after the bell and went up a little bit, then coasted all throughout the aftermarket hours session on Friday. And then today, this morning, we got that big pop that I was banking on. We got SQQQ to rip all the way to 41. We then saw the pullback, and we saw one spike here. You guys see that here? We saw one spike, and we failed to break out of the previous high on the intraday. If it lets me show you, come on. You guys see that here? We failed at about $40.85. The previous high was $41.12. So once we failed to break out of there for this for the second time, right, or for that retest, that's where I ended up locking in profits. We saw the pop to 40.85, then we started coming down a little bit, and I believe, if I remember correctly, I sold at $40.73, I believe exactly, is where I sold out. And now we are slightly above that, but still we're failing to break out of the highs. And for me, guys, I figured I'm up. I think I made like 4.5% on the trade. I was up that amount on a weekend, over the weekend trade. I figured that is all I wanted, or that was good enough for me. Typically, I'm looking to, get anywhere from, depending on, what I'm looking to trade, but with leveraged ETFs like this, 3 to 5% on a quick move, that's enough for me to lock it in. And I locked it in, and here we are. It's at 40.80 right now, and it's still technically, SQQQ that is, in a downtrend. And sure, it could potentially get rejected here and dump back off, which is kind of why I ended up locking in the game. But I'm still watching this for a break potentially above that intraday high today, which is 41.12. If that's able to break, maybe I could get another entry on this for a move, maybe towards the 180 SMA, maybe 43, 44, 45 bucks. But I figured, again, since we failed on that second attempt to break out of the intraday high, since we failed on that, I figured let me lock in the gains and, get back to the drawing board and see kind of what happens for the rest of the day, rest of the week, right? No need to, hold on to it and, risk it going back down and maybe me not making money. No need to do that. So I figured let me lock in the profits. And like I say on the channel, guys, profits are profits. So that ended up working out for me. I bought this on Friday, like I said, just locked it in, and we'll see what happens here moving forward. But I made a quick little 4.5%, 4.6, whatever the heck it ended up being on a market that I believe was pretty overbought. I mean, you guys saw for yourselves, we had a pretty stellar week last week, and honestly, the past couple weeks have been really intense in the stock market. Triple Q on the 6th of January was 260. It ran all the way up to about 300 last week. That was a 14% move in the span of just a couple of weeks, and we clearly see a big resistance here on the 4-hour at about 295, at about $300 a share. So I speculated, and again, I made money on it. I was right that we were going to see a bit of a pullback before we get that retest at 298, 300, and maybe even break out of there. Which, who knows? That could still happen, but Clearly, I was right in the short term. We got the pullback. This is what I was banking on. And now, no joke, guys, I mean, the Bulls might take it for another ride. That's another reason why I got out, for the quick gain, because for all we know, Triple Q here could test, 288, 290, bounce off that 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and then start running back to the mid-200s, 300s again. That could definitely happen, easily happen. And in that case, for that reason, again, that's one of the reasons why I locked in the profit. And let's say we do end up breaking under 285 on this. Maybe we break the 50 SMA. That'd be a sign for me to go long S triple Q again. If this were to go from 285 down to about 275, that'd be a nice move on S triple Q, which if you guys didn't know, I should have said this a minute ago, but S triple Q goes up whenever the NASDAQ goes down at a 3x rate, mind you. So if the NASDAQ's down 1.5% on a day, S triple Q could be up 4.5%. 5%. Of course, it's not perfect. It's not going to be 3x aligned, perfectly aligned each time, but it's roughly 3x what the the NASDAQ goes down, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what I did today, guys. That's one of the moves I made. Well, really the only move that I made, the only trade that I made. And SPY is one that I'm looking at here, of course, which is the S&P 500 ETF. That's also struggling to break 405, 410. And until we do that, guys, the Bears are going to have not complete control over this thing, but they're going to have an edge, in my opinion. They're going to have an edge until SPY could break 410 to 415. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you trade anything, or rather, did you hold anything over the weekend? Did you make any moves today? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't gotten your free stocks yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know why you don't want your free money. Get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, link down below. Each of those could be up to $2,000, and you could also get up to 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. Hey, if you want that free money, it's right down below, and it also helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. So yeah, markets are red right now, and it looks like S triple Q is going up maybe towards $41 here. Probably we'll test that here pretty soon. And if you guys didn't see, SoFi reported earnings, and their stock is up a whopping 13% right now. And at one point, it was over $7 a share. I think at one point it was up like 18%. Let me see here to be exact with you guys. Yeah, it was almost 18% from where it closed on Friday, where mind you, it closed at about $5.95 on Friday. So it ran up all the way to $7, blew through many levels of resistance. We're talking it's now at a multi-month high. SoFi broke out of the highs from the middle of November, early November. Also on top of that, the highs from the middle of September, early September, late August. I mean, these highs were 650 to 675. Now it looks like we're back down to that point to potentially hold it as support. So SoFi ended up doing, let me see here, let me pull the notes up, guys. They ended up doing -5 cents in EPS versus -9 cents estimated. So they beat EPS and they beat on revenue, $443 million versus $425.88 million estimated. So right off the bat, looking at the previous quarter, that's good. Double beat. And on top of that, guidance was pretty strong. They see adjusted, adjusted net revenue of $1.92 to $2 billion versus $1.98 billion estimated for full year 23. Not bad. For the quarter one of 2023, they see revenue of $430 to $440 million. Not too bad. And what is really moving the stock, in my opinion, is the fact that they see quarterly GAAP net income profitability by Q4 of 2023. And that's for a company that has not, at least to my knowledge, been profitable. I mean, this is big news, guys. And that's probably why the stock is really starting to move. You guys can see here, if we're looking at these quarters, look at the bell and your little light bulb at the bottom, guys. You see that? This shows their previous quarters. They have not made money on these quarters. So yeah, I mean, that's big news. The fact that they're looking to do, have net income profitability by Q4, or GAAP, that's really good news, guys. Really good news for the company overall. So am I chasing this? Heck no. Am I FOMOing into this? Absolutely not. If I had to guess, if I had to gamble, guys, and speculate, this pulls back before we see more upside. I mean, I'd be shocked if it just ripped now to $7.50, $8, $8.50 without a pullback, unless we had some sort of freak event, like a short squeeze or anything like that, which, I don't know, we could get that. But in my opinion, what's more likely is The dust settles. We pull back a little bit, maybe down to back down to test the highs from November, anywhere from $6, $6.25. Maybe we come back all the way down to $5.75 to test the moving averages again. I don't know. Maybe not that. Maybe not that down or down that much. But something. I think some pullback is going to come. The dust will settle. And for me, guys, that's what I'm waiting for. There's no way I'm going to be buying SoFi as a trade when the RSI is at 81 and it's literally up from 430 in the beginning of the month to where it is now. It's literally up 60%. I am not going to FOMO into that. I'm just going to let it kind of play out, let the dust settle, and we'll see where it goes from there. So shout out to you. I mean, if you own SoFi, shout out to you. It is on fire today. Great earnings report, solid guidance. I mean, hey, there's really nothing to complain about. And when it comes to some other movers here, guys, let's see what else is moving. JWN's moving. That's green a little bit, but the chart doesn't look that great. Humana's moving, which, don't really want to talk about that. Best Buy looks like it's up 1.5%, which keeps getting closer and closer to breaking out of that $87 resistance. It looks like we're about to test it right now, actually. We're at $86.50 when I'm making this video. If we do take 87 out, that right shoulder and the inverse head and shoulder is going to start playing out. Cup and handle is going to start playing out. There could be more upside on Best Buy. I've been saying this like a madman on this channel, guys, and we'll continue to cover it and do follow-ups on it to see what actually ends up happening. And any big losers today? Yeah, there's some big losers today, guys. We have GameStop and AMC down. We have Tesla down on the day, about 5%, which about dang time. This was in need of a pullback. And, I mean, this pullback could potentially continue all the way down to the mid-hundreds, in my opinion. We're now at 170, maybe down to 155, 150. I could see it come down to, at least in my opinion. So, yeah, we're about, 12 minutes in, and I don't want to drag it too long, guys, but let's see. Anything else? AMC, Tencent, Coinbase, those are all down. Airbnb, Shop, Melly. So pretty much every stock that crushed it last week is seeing a bit of a pullback this week, or at least to start the week, which makes sense. I mean, the whole market's down. We are seeing selling across the board. It makes sense. A lot of these bigger tech names that crushed it last week are starting to pull back. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts as always. And don't forget to get your free stocks from Moomoo, from Webull. Get 50% off of your first year on Seek and Alpha. Link down below. And feel free to check out my Patreon if you guys like the daily charts, the way I break things down. Daily charts are posted on Patreon. You get more access to me throughout the day. All that good stuff. Check it out. Link down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.